Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Jürgen Klopp visit AXA training centre and show squad a new tactics. The early morning sun had just begun to rise over the AXA training centre in Kirkby, its light spilling gently across the wet grass. The smell of fresh-cut turf mixed with the crisp chill of Merseyside air. It was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of silence that comes before something big, and then came the unmistakable sound of an engine. A black SUV pulled up beside the main entrance, and out stepped Jürgen Klopp. The Liverpool manager adjusted his cap, slung his bag over his shoulder, and looked around with that half smile he wore when he knew something nobody else did. Today was not just another day of training. Today, Klopp was unveiling something new. Inside the AXA complex, staff were already busy preparing. Cones aligned in perfect order, cameras set up, drones ready to record. Pep Blinders stood by the tactics board waiting. "Boss," he said with a grin as Klopp walked in. "You've been talking about this idea for weeks. Are we finally going to see it?" Klopp laughed, his deep voice echoing down the hall. "Today, my friend, the world sees the new Liverpool." They entered the main briefing room. The players were already there. Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Luis Diaz, Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, Darwin Núñez, and a new face sitting quietly in the back. Frimpong, the right-back recently signed to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold after his move to Real Madrid. Klopp's smile softened for a moment. Trent had been a son to him, a player who embodied everything Liverpool stood for: creativity, passion, heart. Losing him was like losing a limb. But Klopp believed in evolution, and evolution had a new name now. "Good morning, lads," Klopp began, clapping his hands. "I know what you're thinking. It's too early, it's too cold, and we've already run enough. But football doesn't wait, eh?" A few chuckles went around the room. He turned to the whiteboard where lines and shapes were already drawn, not the familiar 4-3-3 or inverted fullback system. "This was different. This," Klopp said, pointing with his marker, "is what I call the square shift." He drew 4 dots, 2 deeper, 2 advanced, forming a perfect square in the middle of the pitch. "When we lose the ball," he explained, "these 4 players move together, tight, compact, suffocating. When we win it, they expand, opening lanes, creating overloads, destroying structure. It's not a formation, it's a rhythm." He looked around. "We used to play Gegen pressing, now we play squared pressing. Same fire, new shape." Pep smiled from the side. 4 corners of chaos," he added. Klopp nodded. "Exactly. Chaos, but organised chaos." Training began under a sky that threatened rain but never quite delivered it. The squad divided into small groups, each practicing movements based on Klopp's new design. Cones marked invisible squares on the grass. The players moved in synchrony. Step forward, press, fall back, open up. "Frimpong, inside! Now push wide!" Klopp shouted, his voice booming across the field. Yes, now run, lad!" Frimpong obeyed instantly, cutting inside before sprinting into space. His control was sharp, his timing almost instinctive. Klopp's eyes lit up. "Beautiful. You see, boys? This one, he understands the pulse." Salah grinned. "Boss, he's got rhythm like Trent." Klopp wagged a finger. No, not like Trent. He's Frimpong. New rhythm, new song." The players laughed, the kind of laughter that builds belief. After 2 hours of intense drills, Klopp gathered the squad around him. The pitch was slick, boots muddy, breaths visible in the cold air. "You see this shape?" he asked, drawing an invisible square in the air with his hands. "It's not just a tactic, it's trust. Every corner depends on the others. You move wrong, the whole square collapses. You move right, the whole team breathes." He looked directly at Frimpong. "This right side will be your canvas now. You don't need to be Trent. You just need to be brave." Frimpong nodded, sweat dripping down his face. "I'll give everything, boss." Klopp smiled. "That's all I ask." The next day, Anfield buzzed with whispers. Reporters had heard Klopp was testing something revolutionary. A new structure, a new way of playing. The opponent was Aston Villa, a team known for their speed and counterattacks. A real test. As the teams walked out, Frimpong took a deep breath, feeling the roar of the Kop rumble through his chest. Klopp gave him a quick pat on the back. "Play free, my boy. The square will protect you." The whistle blew. Immediately, Liverpool's shape looked strange. Fluid, compact, constantly shifting. The midfielders moved as one, forming a rotating box that strangled Villa's passing lanes. "Close it! Close it!" Klopp shouted. McAllister stepped up, Szoboszlai tucked in. The square collapsed perfectly. The ball won back. Seconds later, it expanded again. A diagonal pass, Frimpong bursting forward, Salah making the run 1 touch, 2 touches, goal, 1-0. Anfield erupted. Klopp punched the air so hard his glasses nearly fell off. "That's the square! That's the bloody square!" he screamed. Pep Lijnders laughed beside him. "You've done it again, boss." By halftime, Liverpool led 2-0. The square shift moved like poetry. Tight when defending, wide when attacking, never still, always alive. The commentators struggled to define it. "It's like a 4-2-2-2 or maybe a 3-box-3, one said. "Whatever it is, it's working." Klopp stood at the touchline, shouting instructions, his smile growing with every pass. This was the Liverpool he wanted, fearless, fluid, reborn. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read 3-0. The fans sang his name again, louder than they had in months. "Jürgen Klopp, la 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 la, Jürgen Klopp." The players huddled around Frimpong, patting his back. He had assisted 2 goals and looked like he'd been part of the team for years. Klopp approached him slowly, pride glowing in his eyes. "You were brilliant," he said quietly. "Not a copy, not a replacement, a new story." Frimpong smiled, exhausted but radiant. "Thank you, boss. I just played the rhythm." Klopp laughed. "And that's all football is, rhythm and heart." Later that night, long after everyone had left, Klopp stayed behind in his office at AXA. The floodlights outside cast long shadows across the empty pitch. Pep Lijnders entered with 2 mugs of tea. "So," Pep said, "what do you call it now? The square shift? The new Liverpool?" Klopp looked out the window, where the faint glow of Anfield could still be seen in the distance. "No," he said softly. "It's just us. The same spirit, new shape." He leaned back in his chair, smiling. "Football changes, Pep, but belief stays the same." The next morning, the newspapers exploded with headlines. Jürgen Klopp, visit AXA training centre and show squad a new tactics. Liverpool reborn. From Trent to Frimpong, from gegenpressing to squared pressing, Klopp reinvents the game again. And at the AXA training centre, the players were already back at work, running, pressing, laughing. Klopp watched them from the sideline, hands in his pockets, the wind tugging at his jacket. The smile on his face said everything. Liverpool wasn't starting over. Liverpool was starting higher.